live.
All right, guys, we're going to talk about why people quit keto right now. All right, guys, so I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about why people quit doing a ketogenic or carnivore diet. Now, it kind of has something to do with the live stream I did today, so check that on the replay about the list of the keto flu symptoms, but it pretty much is connected to that, and I wanted to be a little bit more specific. There's only about 5% of people that actually remain ketotic over a year. Now, people can last maybe 2, but if you're not lasting past 2, you probably won't restart it again. Most people quit within the first year, and it's really a tragedy because they go online and they see to eat keto pizza and keto drinks and muffins and take beta hydroxybutyrate salts and keto shakes, and they're drinking their butter coffee and they're intermittent fasting on keto, and the science behind being ketotic or the ketogenic diet is completely gone. Like, if I ask people what is a keto diet, they'll say it's a weight loss diet, and it's not. It's actually everything but that. But the end result of being healthy and healing your mitochondria and repairing your DNA and strengthening your epigenetics, well, if your body's strong and healthy, then you're going to have a regulated insulin and estrogen, and you're going to drop the weight. So if you try to use weight loss as your first strategy, how are you going to balance that blood sugar? Right? How are you going to get enough ketone production? How are you going to get enough deep sleep or get enough oxygenated rich blood to the cells through diaphragmatic breathing? If you don't consider all the things outside of the plate of the steak, that's just as important. You know, the fork and the knife and the napkin is just as important as the steak on the plate. And it's a whole lifestyle thing. People, you know, they don't breathe properly. They work out late at night. They're very adrenal driven, which their blood sugar is so dysregulated. They keep trying to do keto and they're just never having that energy. People will say, you know, like I just did this roundtable talk where this guy was eating sugar, and I was like, and he was calling himself keto coach. I was like, why are you eating sugar? And he never answered the question. You need sugar because you don't have energy when you work out. So that's a process, and it can take. It goes in 3-month chunks. That was who? The Greek guy is here as my backup.
Yes. Hello,
There
and
he is.
excuse me for the sound
Sneak.
effects.
This right. Okay, so people quit. Like the Greek guy, he's on a keto experiment. He will tell himself, maybe, that this is just an experiment to lose weight. So he's actually doing this. This is good for him to comment. He's actually doing this for weight loss. And I don't hear him say that he's doing it for health. When people do it for weight loss, they don't stay on it because they start missing all of the things, their coffees, their sugar, their alcohol, their cheese, their bread, the restaurant food, and the chocolate and the candies and this whatever. And that's why they give in, because they're out at night, it's the Super Bowl and somebody's feeding them chips and salsa, and they're like, I'll just have a couple chips. Or I'm at a Christmas or a birthday and I'm gonna have a little fun. They're looking at food as entertainment. So I kind of feel that you, where is he here?
Yes,
do
hello.
that, doing it for those reasons as well, which is why he won't stay on over a year.
Yes.
My prediction.
And your prediction is right. I love ice cream, and I stated that, and I love sweets and sugars and stuff like that. On the other hand, because I want to be healthy, I want to continue doing keto. So, in my understanding, I will be doing semi-keto.
Okay,
I don't know if that's
There's no such thing.
if that's the
Child, get
thing.
off the screen.
Why?
I'm not hearing about no semi-keto nonsense. Jeez. What will happen is that he will become more educated and aware of his health. And maybe that's the benefit of him doing keto for now, because he's starting to check his blood sugar. We did a video, which I will release, but it's a very lengthy video on, sort of like a consultation and the update and what's going on in his life. And he was talking about his symptoms and how he feels now and things of this nature. But most people like him don't go over even 3 months of keto. If they last a year, it's a miracle, because they're doing it for the wrong reason. So in this case, I'm happy he's doing it rather than not doing it at all, because he's going to learn some things. And a lot of people that maybe tried keto, there are people, because I've been on the internet, you guys, for so long. I've done over 3,000 consultations, and I might have some of these people from 5 years ago. You're like, hey, remember me? You did a consultation with me, and 5 years ago. And they're like, well, I want to retry it now. And 5 years have passed. So it stays kind of like in the back of their mind if they're doing something like a step protocol. The stuff that you hear online is absolute embarrassment, garbage, nonsense, ridiculousness, harmful, hurts people, destroys their electrolyte balances, demineralizes their body, creates higher level of histamine. People are eating mono foods. They're eating a lot of cheese where they didn't eat cheese before. They start drinking coffee and they have an aversion to it, and they might have sensitivity to it or have some issues with the mycotoxins, or as it is a diuretic effect, or having a high acidity. And then people will, he's trying to get on camera, but I'm like, oh no, I'm moving this along, because it's in 5 minutes, sunshine. And so then people will give up and say that it doesn't work. Or people will learn, like all these people like, oh, I did keto and lost 60 pounds. But people who say that they lose weight don't tell you about the headaches that they went through low electrolyte balance. They don't talk about the sleep deprivation they went through, because, they're having now chronic hypoglycemia. And they're having a physiological insulin resistance rebound when the blood sugar starts climbing, which will keep you awake, downregulation of the serotonin and melatonin effect. And people don't talk about that. They just talk about weight loss. And so they got this false sort of idea of what keto does to the body. You try it yourself, you don't get the success, you feel like crap, and you quit. The cravings all come back. If you do it the right way, or my protocol way, and I hate to sound so arrogant, but let's keep it real. I've been keeping things clean and honest and, with discipline and respect to your own body for freaking the whole time I've been on the internet. And nobody else does it as much as I do, because working with people gives you the insight of what actually happens to different populations, young, old, different ethnicities, intolerances, autoimmunity. And you have to consider all of that when you're doing a ketogenic protocol. Weight loss is the last thing. If the body's healthy and the inflammation is down, the weight will come off. Your fat cells will become more efficient, your insulin will be regulated, and your sex hormones will be regulated. And that is the reason why people don't lose weight, or they start climbing weight, is because their insulin is too high. They don't check their A1C, they don't check their blood sugar. They focus too much on ketones or stupid urine strips. And when things don't work, they give up. They go back to their addictions. So hopefully I will have an influence on the Greek guy.
Yes, you will. But again, I think I will end up with a low carb, high fat diet. In my understanding, yes, I started with weight loss, but and I succeeded in that, and I will keep succeeding. The end game is to eat healthier in general. But excuse me to say that, Stephanie, your keto is so strict that
no, it's not. I'm not even hearing that. I'm not hearing it, because this is the mind of a weaker person. Because if he had cancer or disease, he couldn't have the allowance to say that it's strict. You heard somebody in the live stream we did earlier. It's not that I'm strict. It's just that people aren't. If this is where you're supposed to be, people are down here in their expectations of how they treat their body. So I'm not strict. I'm just doing things normal. In fact, when I travel, I'm not eating grass-fed. That's strict. There are people contacting me, calling me out because, I'm not eating grass-fed when I travel. or, you know, I went and did some interviews and they gave me a plastic bottle and I'm drinking from a plastic bottle. And they're like, that's got, you know, xenoestrogens on the bottle. So, or eating Kerrygold, which sometimes, most of the year it's grass-fed and sometimes it's grass-finished or corn finished. But just living a healthy life and, you know, you're addicted to food and you tell your brain that it's a lovely experience, but it's not the experience, it's the addiction to the modern world that we're in, because you're not working out now. He's over there. You're not working out and it's not making him feel good. And he's a teddy bear. He's a sweet guy and he's very smart, but he gets very, you get very impatient and with people who aren't smart, yourself, and quick to understand, and you get really irritated if you feel criticized. And I don't think that's just the logical mind anymore. I think that's your hormones in jack, because your estrogen's higher than it should be, which makes you really moody. So if you would think that's a better life so you can eat your ice cream, I feel bad for anybody who thinks that way. Hi, love you.
Right now, not very
over
much.
here.
I hate you with a loving way right now, but anyway. Okay. Maybe I will find other ways to eat my ice cream or make my own ice cream.
Maybe one day, because I used to make ice cream every day. One day we can make a Steph-approved ice cream. And you're going to love it. I mean, literally, we could take a little bit of coconut cream with a little bit of raw cream from Air One. It's so good, you can't.
Will it have chocolate inside?
Yeah, we can put chocolate inside. It doesn't taste like coconut. You mix the two creams together. You'll really, really love it. 100% raw cream from a cow and a little bit of coconut cream. And what?
What about honey?
No, that's sugar. Sorry. Anyway.
Okay.
No, we can use stevia, and we can mask the stevia taste with a little bit of salt. Salt really buffers off that bitterness. And we can add cacao butter, which doesn't have really, it doesn't, as a species without the oxalates, and it doesn't have the mycotoxins, a very low level, and it doesn't have the caffeine. And it tastes so good. I'm not even lying. You're going to be like, this is the bomb. I made ice cream for 3 freaking years when I first did keto because it was so good. People would ask for the recipe all the time.
And I will be the only one that has it.
Right? And you could just have it in your freezer all the time and just make it. I would make it once a week and just pound it down and then go down and eat another. I mean, it was good.
Okay.
But I got tired of living that life. I made keto pizza, keto pancakes, keto crackers, and chocolate and milkshakes, and I made cookies and butter muffins and cinnamon muffins and tortillas and Mexican food and tacos, like Steph, and hot dog buns. And you guys see some of this in my old videos. And I got tired of it. It's like the more keto adapted I became over the years, the less of a desire for that food. And so I don't care now. I can go and cook like a really juicy cut of lamb and be just in butter and be just, it's so good. I can't be so more happy. So I've changed a lot over the years, and this is the reason why now I am going to come out with a cookbook, and it's not that I want to do it. It's just a really good way that people bug me so much about recipes to put a book together and explain all of the issues with the food, so you are at your own risk if you choose. If you're going to do this, or if you're going to do keto for the family because they're not ketotic, then this is going to be a great way to at least get a guide that's a little bit more Steph-approved ingredients than going towards that other junk at the same time. And with that money, I might be able to actually get some help with my business because I'm pretty much a one-woman business except for the Greek guy helping me with the streams. But everything else, he knows I'm exhausted. I do everything. And I come up with course lessons on a keto course page every freaking day, except for the Saturday and Sunday. And then Sunday I do live mini consultation. So it's getting to be a bit much, and do all the research that I do and all of the homework and the course lessons and the consultations and the videos and the internet, you know, and I'm talking to these other people and they've got staff members. Like, so maybe this book will, I'm creating 2 books, recipe book and also the ultimate guide to low carb, high fat, keto omnivore and keto carnivore. And with that money, I'm going to go just put it right into my business, because it's time to grow and it's time to get some help. So on that note, if you guys want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com. You can also book a consultation there, where I know what I'm doing now after all these years. I really do. And it's not just about weight loss, which I will attack, but I also go under all of these issues that you guys have had over the years. We start from coming out of your mama's little thingy thing and to now. And a whole lifestyle change. I also have a keto course. You can do it for 1 more month or many months. It's super cheap. It's only $15. So that's nothing. There are people that charge hundreds of dollars for these useless, garbage nonsense of information they call information. And then I have free content here, so don't forget to hit the notification bell. Make sure that your notifications are turned on, because my channel has been suffering from people not getting their notifications. And also, I do stuff on my stories on my Instagram every single day on every subject. Today I was talking about the thyroid. That's at Stephanie Ketogenic, and I have free content on my Facebook, which is Stephanie the Business Person, as in the body business, right? The body business. I got named that years ago. And I'm out. Any last words? I always afraid to say that because you can't just say 2 things fast.
2 things. Bye.
Right?
Love ya.
Bye.